how much can I afford? Whether you're a first-time home buyer or just curious, this video is going to break down exactly how you can figure your budget before you start house hunting. So let's get right into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Randy and you're on Home and Land Realty. Before you start looking for a home, it's crucial to know exactly how much you can realistically afford. Buying a home is a huge financial commitment, and getting it wrong could mean stress down the line. But don't worry, we'll walk through the steps. Step 1 is understanding your monthly income. This is the foundation of figuring out your budget. Start by calculating your gross monthly income, which is the amount you make before taxes. If you're salaried, that's pretty easy. But what if you're self-employed, or you work varied hours on an hourly job, or you have maybe multiple income streams from several jobs? Make sure you average your income over the past year to get a solid idea. A tip here is to go back and look at your tax return from last year and look at the AGI, or your adjusted gross income. If things have changed in your work life from then till now, then make some adjustments based on if you're making more money now or less money now than you did when you filed your tax return. Let's just say for a round number that you are making $5,000 a month before taxes. That's your gross income, and that's what we're going to work off of today. Step 2 is to look at something called the DTI, or your debt to income ratio. This is the percentage of that gross monthly income that goes towards paying debts. And I'm talking about things such as credit cards, car payments, student loans, basically anything that has a set monthly payment. But I'm not talking about things like utilities, subscription services, your Netflix account, etc., or like things like your gym membership. Things like that. Those do not go into the DTI formula. But things that would also go into the DTI formula would be if you have child support or alimony payments. To calculate this, just take your monthly debt payments and divide them by your monthly income. So most lenders recommend a DTI ratio under 36% total, including housing expenses, though this can vary depending on the lender, depending on your credit score, etc. Lots of factors go into what they will use to figure that percentage and what percentage they use. So let's say you have a car payment of $300 a month, and you have a student loan payment of $150 a month, and you have $100 in minimum payments to your credit card. So your monthly debt, excluding your housing, is $550 a month. $550 divided by $5,000, your gross monthly income, is 11%. That's your DTI before housing, which is a pretty healthy range for lenders to be able to work with you. Step 3 is getting pre-approved for a mortgage. This is a crucial step for knowing exactly how much a lender is willing to lend you based on your financial profile. When you get pre-approved, the lender is going to look at things like your credit score, your income, assets. This will give you a clear idea of your price range and the interest rate that you qualify for. Tip here is to use a lender who is recommended to you by someone you trust. Don't just go on Google and search for get pre-approved for a loan. There are way too many lenders out there to know who to trust. Work with somebody who was recommended to you by somebody you trust. And don't worry, getting pre-approved doesn't mean you have to commit to that lender or any type of loan. It's just giving you a ballpark figure to help with your search. So step 4 is to discuss the 28-36 rule. This is a standard guideline that many lenders use to help determine how much you can afford. According to the 28-36 rule, no more than 28% of your gross monthly income should go toward your housing costs, and no more than 36% should go toward all your debt payments combined, including the mortgage. We discussed that back in the section about the debt to income ratio. So if you're making $5,000 a month, 28% would be $1,400. That means your total housing cost, which is including your principal and interest payment to your bank, your taxes, and your insurance. This is a term in real estate we like to call the PITI. PITI. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance should not exceed $1,400. But let's go back and look at our example from the DTI. You had a DTI of 11%. 28 plus 11 is 39%. That's more than the 36% in the 28-36 rule. So using the 28-36 rule, 36 minus 11 is only 25%. So in this case, you could afford $1,250 per month, 25% of $5,000, instead of that $1,400 a month, which is 28%. So how do you increase the percent that you can use toward housing? Well, some suggestions here would be to earn more money, either get a raise at work or take on a second job or do a side gig, something to help increase your monthly income. 2 would be to reduce other debts, bring that 11% down to 8%, and then you have made up the difference between the 25 and the 28%. Or 3, you can put more money down up front when you make your mortgage, having a larger down payment, or you can lower the interest rate on your loan. So here's an example. If you are buying a house of $300,000 at a 6.75% interest rate, which is pretty much the average right now, every 5% you put down, or $15,000 more that you put down on that mortgage, will lower your monthly payment by $94. Another possibility, instead of putting down payment, would be to reduce your interest rate by doing what we call a interest rate buy down. So instead of putting that extra $15,000 toward your down payment by reducing your principal, you could put probably less than that, more like maybe $10,000 toward an interest rate buy down, and bring that interest rate from 6.75% to 5.75%, reducing it 1%. Lowering your interest rate by 1% will lower your monthly payment by $185. These two possibilities of either lowering your payment by down payment or by interest rate reduction should be discussed with your lender. Let them help you figure out best use of the money you have to put down up front. Step 5 is don't forget about additional costs. Owning a home means more than just paying the mortgage. As we discussed before, the PITI is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, but there's also things such as the homeowners association dues and maintenance, upkeep, repairs. A good rule of thumb here is to budget around 1 to 2% of the home's value per year for maintenance, upkeep, and repairs. So if your home was valued at $300,000 when you bought it, figure around $3,000 to $6,000 per year just in upkeep, repair, and maintenance. So to sum it up, start by understanding your monthly income, calculate your debt to income ratio, get pre-approved for a mortgage, follow the 28-36 rule, and make sure you remember all the additional costs that you have to worry about. When you put it all together, you have a clear picture of how much you can afford. If you found this video helpful, be sure you hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to help out. Thanks for watching, and happy house hunting. Bye-bye.